Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
Andrew McCart, IFL TV, delighted to be joined by Mr. Joseph Parker. Joe, it's coming on 2:15 in the morning. What are we doing?
Hi. Yeah, it's early in the morning, and we're just adjusting to the time zone and making sure that when it's time for us to fight, time for me to fight, I am wide awake, full of energy, and ready to go.
Good strategy, very, very good strategy, but you're keeping me up as well, which, listen, I've got no dramas, I always love coming to speak to you, Joe, but before we get into the nitty-gritty, like, I'm always sort of like, when I hear the announcers, I just heard you do it with Michelle there in the interview with, I was going to say behind the gloves there, Michelle, Boxing Social, your name.
Yeah.
I would love to learn how to say your name properly, because it fascinates me when I hear the announcers and you say it, and I really would like, probably not now, because you can teach me, but if you can just say it right now, I'll try and copy it.
Lupe Soliai La'auli Alemalia Toa Joseph Parker.
Lupi Suliai? Lupi Suliai? La'auli? Olemalie? Toa. Toa? Alema Toa. Wow, I'm gonna master that. So when the next
title chief names in Samoa. Lupe Soliai, and La'auli is a warrior of who goes out there first and fights, and strength, courage, wisdom.
Well, that just brings it on nicely, because that's what you do. I mean, you fight anybody, right? I mean, Deontay Wilder back in December, Zhilei Zhang now. You fought 4 times last year, and like you don't say no to anybody. Is there anyone in this division you'll say no to?
You know what? In boxing, I know I've had quite a long career so far. I think I've been in the game for about 11 years. But what I want to do in boxing is to fight the best and just give a good account of myself, and go out there and have fun.
And listen, you give me fun as well. I love watching you fight. Joe, now talking about Zhilei Zhang, it looks like there's a lot of respect between the two of you. I mean, 2 days ago you bumped into each other, you asked each other if you were ready. Yesterday at the grand arrivals, you fist bumped each other. Is it hard for you to you talked about that warrior name and the warrior mentality that you have, is it hard for you to get switched on and try and fight somebody like Zhang, who is quite nice and pleasant towards you?
No, it's not hard to get switched on. It's all nice, and it's all, respectful before and after the fight, but in the ring is a different story. And now I feel like I have that switch where I'm able to just switch on and go, you know what, I want to smash your face, because that's what you want to do to me. I want to smash yours first.
What, me?
No, I guess, saying it to you, but my opponent, because I want to smash you because you want to bang me.
Definitely. But there's a lot being made of, obviously, Zhilei Zhang, because, I mean, I've spoke to a few people off camera, and they seem to think that you've got the faster feet, he has the slower feet, he's got fast hands. And is it a case of you using your feet more because maybe Zhang does have the slower feet, but he does have the fast hands? Is that sort of how you look at this fight, or is that just us just trying to put 2 and 2 together?
It's, when you look at it, Zhang is the pressure fighter. He puts the pressure on, and he walks you down, throws his shots, and he throws heavy shots, like you said, in combinations. I have to be really switched on again in this fight, like the Wilder fight, and I have to use my feet a bit more. Being quick in and out, picking my shots, and just dancing and making a miss.
We saw that as well. Obviously, Zhilei Zhang has had 2 great wins over Joe Joyce, and people are going to do that comparison. We all know that styles make fight, and maybe the casual boxing fan might think, well, Joe Joyce happened this with Joe Parker, but Zhang done this to Joe Joyce. What have you got to say to the casual boxing fan that might be thinking that? They may be just looking at the common opponent and thinking, yeah, Zhang's going to win this one.
Yeah, Joe Joyce beat me, and Zhang beat Joe Joyce, and like you said, people will think he beats him, so he should beat him. What I would say is that the fighter that was fighting Joe Joyce back then is a totally different fighter now. I'm a totally different fighter, mentally, physically, and I've made a few adjustments in my camp and in my style, and I feel like now I'm a lot better. Even before the Joe Joyce fight, when I won the world title, I'm a lot better fighter now.
Can we just go back to the Day of Reckoning event with the Deontay Wilder fight? And I can't remember which round it was, but when you had him in the corner and you landed that big looping right hand over the top, was there a moment in that fight where you thought, well, he isn't detonating his right hand, let me try mine, and and when you did land that shot, was there a moment in that fight where you thought, I'm going to get him out of here?
Yeah, I thought I was hurt him with that big shot and then cornered him, and I threw everything, and he was able to hold on and went, lasted the round. But just like I said, coming back to the corner, it's very important to stay calm, listen to the instruction, and go out there. And even though you've heard him, he's still dangerous. We've seen how dangerous he is after being hurt, Deontay Wilder, and what he can do in the ring with one punch.
Now, Zhilei Zhang, obviously, I've titled my sort of thing, can Joe Joyce do it again against another heavy hitter? And Joe Parker, against another heavy hitter. Zhilei Zhang, we all know that he can bang. He's called the Big Bang, like you've well said, Joe. Can you stop somebody like him? I mean, I go back to maybe the Jerry Forrest fight when he sort of gassed a little bit. Are you hoping for, well, I'm not hoping, but to take him into them deep waters where you can see him tire a little bit and then you can unload?
Listen, he did tire in the earlier fights, but like the recent one, like say with Herkovich, he went to 12 rounds and that was a high-paced fight. I'm not banking on him or wanting him to tire. I want him to be the best Zhang there is. So when I do beat him, this will be a great story.
Definitely. You beat Zhang, Joe. What does that do for your career? Because you've had 4 fights last year. You're probably the most active heavyweight in the division right now. You're when you talk about activity and fighters being active, you're proof of that it works. You stay active, you stay switched on, you stay in the gym, you keep winning, you're going to get to the top. Now, what does a win for you against Zhilei Zhang do for your career?
Listen, a win would show that I'm right up at the top of the heavyweight division. A win over Wilder and then a win over Zhang would be massive. And I will still continue to stay as busy as I can. And like I said before, I got a fight with Zhang. I'm locked in for a rematch, and beat him twice. I'm open to fighting everyone and anyone in the division.
It's a one-way rematch clause, I believe. Yeah. So you beat Zhang, fight him again. Then really, who's left for you in the heavyweight division? If we talk about the guys at the top, really there only is left maybe a Joshua rematch or a Tyson Fury fight. But we all know your relationship with Tyson. So where do you go if you beat Zhang twice? Do you know what I mean?
If Usyk is still fighting after Tyson beats him, there's always fights. There's always big fights out there. There's a Joshua fight. There could be Dubois making some noise. There are big fights out there. But like I said, after Zhang, I'm keen to fight everyone.
2-time world champion, though. That's what you want.
2-time world champion, unified champion, undisputed. Those are the titles that fighters want to achieve in boxing. It does take. Listen, it takes a lot of hard work and it takes time. It takes the right steps. But as long as you're winning and progressing, you can get there.
I'm going to put you in a sticky spot. Then let's just say Tyson Fury beats Usyk. Let's just say he fights Joshua, beats Joshua. You beat everybody that you've needed to beat. You want to become a 2-time world champion. Tyson's there. I've put you in a sticky spot, but I'm going to ask the question. What's going to happen there? I mean, obviously, business is business, friendship is friendship, but where do you and Tyson sit on that? Has that conversation been had?
Hasn't really been had, but I can say if we were in that spot, I'll just say, hey, Tyson, what do you reckon? What do you think we should do?
100 million?
And he listen, if it's to help, like I said before, if it's to help me and secure my family for the rest of my life, I know he'll do something like that. He's done a lot of things for me. I'm very grateful.
Joe, you talked about your family, and I know you've got a little one on the way, and being in camp and fighting so regular. I know you're nipping home for a couple of weeks every now and again and dipping away into training camp. And I mean, like George Lockhart over there and Andy Lee's probably your close family right now in terms of the boxing game. But how hard is it for your family back home, your kids and your wife, that you're away all the time? Is it difficult for them?
It's very hard. You have I got 4 young girls and wife's pregnant again, so it's very hard to be away. But in saying that, though, my wife she is a soldier. Like, she doesn't give me any grief or doesn't make it my job hard. We live a good life because of boxing, and we're very blessed. We can travel around the world as a family when I do have time off. So we all understand that this is just part of life and part of what I do. And my wife and my kids support me 100%. And my wife, kids, my parents, everyone back home, they just want the best for me. And that makes my job a lot easier. I can focus, I can enjoy what I do, and there's no stress or no worries. That's
magical. That's absolutely magical. But you are a young heavyweight. Let's just say you're only 32 years. 21 years young. You're only you're 32. I'm hoping you're 32. You're right. Yeah. You look 21, Joe. I'll give you that. You look 21. You're 32, so relatively in heavyweight terms, you're young. You've still got probably another 6 years in this game, maybe, if you want to.
I'm 32 years old. I want to go hard for the next 3 or 4 years, and we'll see. we'll see. But just going to go the next 3 years. I'm just going to give it everything. I got the best team in George, Lockhart. Got the best team in Andy Lee. Got great people around me, and I'm enjoying it. I'm loving what I do, and I love it all.
We're going to give George a big head, man. I think he's been name dropped a couple of times in these interviews. He's over there pretending he can't hear us, but I know he can hear. You can hear us, George. Stop. You can hear us. Yeah. You know. Now we're just saying we're going to give you a big head because you've been name dropped quite a lot in these interviews. So
the work that I've done with George has been. That's the biggest change. Andy Lee is always going to be the head trainer and the sort of brains behind the boxing and what I do, and the teacher. He's a very good teacher, you know, and I've learned a lot, and I'm still learning a lot with Andy. But George coming in and just helping Andy with the, you know, conditioning, the food, the recovery, these two together make it for a great team, and we're getting great results.
Joe, I know you've still got another couple of hours before you go to bed, but I'm absolutely knackered. But I'll keep it a couple more questions. Did you see Tyson Fury's in town? And he rocked up at His Excellency's house with Cristiano Ronaldo, Joshua, and Ngannou. I don't know if you've seen the picture. Did you see the picture Turkey posted on his Instagram? Yeah, were you there? You lucky man. You lucky. Well, you weren't in the picture. That's what I thought.
I wasn't in the picture, no. But we were at the house, and Turkey did invite all the fighters, and there was Tyson was there. It was great to see him again. Spencer Brown, who was with Tyson, and you see Joshua and Ngannou. Everyone was there.
Just talk about this whole Saudi thing then, because obviously you've been here a couple of times yourself having fights. You were at the Fury and Ngannou, you were at Day Reckoning in December, you're back out again. Just talking about this whole setup that's happening right now, it's amazing, isn't it?
I feel it's amazing that these fights are happening. I know it's in Saudi Arabia, and a lot of fans want the fights to be happen back in England and America and wherever else, but Saudi Arabia has made these big fights happen that we've been waiting to happen for a long time. And for me, I'm just very blessed to be a part of this, you know, the boxing scene here. I know there'll be many fighters out there looking in, wanting to be here, wanting to be locked in, wanting to have a fight, wanting to be amongst everything that's happening. So I think it's great what they're doing. And thanks to Turkey and everyone involved for making it happen.
Definitely. Well, it'd be remiss of me not to talk about the main event, Joshua and Ngannou. I don't know what you can say. I know you're fully focused on Zhilei Zhang, but as a boxing man, you can't not be around everything that's happening right now, Joshua and Ngannou. Now, I've asked this question to a number of guys. It seems to me that they're both heavy hitters. Is it a case of whoever lands first wins this fight?
Yeah, I feel like it's whoever lands first. Joshua can punch, he can bang. Francis Ngannou can bang. They're both in great and tremendous shape. We've seen both of them show itself. It's like the battle of the abs.
You're close to getting abs, right?
I'm close to it. You know, I've got a one pack for now.
George, he's only got 2 abs, man. What's going on?
I only got 2 abs. But I feel like what you just said, it's a case of who lands first, because they both can punch. And, you know, who's going to be able to take the hits? You know, but Joshua's been in boxing for his whole life, and you would think it would be him with the win. You know, so we'll see.
I've got to say as well, Tyson Fury's going to be sitting ringside for that fight, and you know yourself as a fighter, the mental side of the game is very, very important. With Tyson Fury sitting ringside for Joshua, would that help him, knowing that Tyson's there, because the potential fight in the future's there, if you know what I mean, or would it hinder him knowing that he's watching me, that the guy that I've been meant to fight for the last 5 years? How's that going to shape up for Joshua?
I feel that Joshua is a professional in what he does, and no matter who's there to watch the fights, and no matter who's around, he knows what he has to do, and he knows what he has to focus on, and that's Francis Ngannou. So I know with his experience, he should be able to just, if there's any sort of feeling of, oh, who's watching, you know, he'll get past that.
Joe, can we end it on trying your name again, please? Like I said, I really want to learn this name, so can we practice again?
Lupe Soliai.
Lupe Soliai.
La'auli.
La'auli.
Ale.
Ale.
Mare Atoa.
Mare Atoa. Joseph Parker. Thank you, Joe. Thanks very much, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.